Nicole, can you go check your phone and see if you can up, please? That why is Raymond messaging me? Why?
Should have said his voice.
Yes, I am. Look, see, right there. I'm just giving it. Why, Raymond? Why? Nobody. He don't want to talk about. He don't want to talk about money and getting out of debt. Who that is? Jelly. Yes, Jelly. You got to get ready to save money and work and provide for you and your baby. Yes. Hey, Raymond, you come and see your mommy. Hey, Callie, we just trying to wait a few minutes. Oh, look at Tanya's on. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Chris. So, yes. So, I got the notes. If I forget anything, I'm going to give it like another minute and stuff. Nicole, can you turn that down some? All right, so we're gonna, hey, look at Matt. Hey, Matt. Can't wait till you get back in the States. He's serving his country. Hey. Hey, Misty. Oh, Ryan must be off tonight. Okay. So, it's 8:05. I jotted some notes down because y'all know I can talk and I want to try to make this, what we say, about 30 minutes. If it go a little longer, I will go, it's just to be on here for like 30 minutes. So what I wanted to do today is I just wanted to give you, I guess we wanted to give our background on this whole getting out of debt situation. So, you ready?
Yep.
Ready? He's ready. He's ready. So, he's gonna be the person to go back in. So if y'all have questions or if I jump all over the place, just type them, and then eventually we'll go back to answer them. So, as many of you should know that we are a blended family. We've been together 16 years. 16 years altogether. Total. Yeah. 16 years altogether. So his, mine, ours together, debt. So we came into the relationship and the marriage with a lot of debt. So, but one of the things that we talked about is no one never really told us about debt, how to deal with it. So we trying to be the change for our kids. So we teaching them how not to get in debt, how to go to school, pay for school with cash, not getting student loans, just all of that kind of stuff. So the first thing, like I mentioned before, being a blended family, being married, relocating after Hurricane Katrina and everything, that was just a lot in itself. So we kind of had to learn a lot of things. Then coming to Texas, which was totally different. We kind of felt like we got a pay raise because, of course, Texas doesn't have state taxes. So that just almost like gave us the ability to make it rain because we figure we're making more money in Texas and we living a better life for our kids.
Yeah, and starting off, we also had, it felt like more money because we had assistance due to Katrina. So
yes.
That gave us a false sense of security there, a little bit, as far as finance-wise. So things started falling off. Then we started realizing it got kind of tight. And I'm not saying we were totally responsible, but I think
we got comfortable
living in Louisiana for so many years, and your existence in New Orleans for the average person is a check-to-check situation. Not too many people are very good at their finances, and if they are good at their finances, they're still it's still pretty tight because cost of living will go up and salaries don't.
Right. So as time go on with family and kids and everything, we just was going and going and going. So one of the things I'm gonna show you really quick is this. This was all of our credit cards. They are all cut up. So every place they're like, oh, sign up. You get discount, 20% off, 10% off. Oh, you get bonus points and and all of this. We were just signing up because we figured we making more money. We can pay it off every month, and we just had this, I don't know, false sense of security that we both had decent jobs, paying well. Nobody didn't want for anything, and then we started not getting along because we wasn't on the same page. That was one of the things that we learned as we went through this whole process. We just wasn't on the same page. Financially?
Financially we're on two different strands.
Yes.
I think part of that was because when we came into this, Tamika got a good job right off. Being in forensics, it was easier for her to get a job compared to me trying to get back into law enforcement. So it took me 5 years to finally get something with some really decent wages to truly contribute more to the household. However, with that in mind, making more money also gave me the feeling like, oh, I could get more stuff that I want. So it was a nickel and dime situation, but it was a nickel and dime situation that ultimately became detrimental to our relationship, and things kind of fell apart there for a second. And we had some serious problems and then had to recover.
Communication. That's the key word. We just wasn't communicating. So then you had, like I said in the beginning,
non-effective communication.
Yeah. So we had some ups and some downs in between all of this, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. But we still came back full circle. And then one day, 2014, I was just in the kitchen one day and I'm like, oh my God, this just something has to get. We like he said, we make decent money, and it's like, why does it feel like
we were living to pay bills?
Yes, basically.
Which was pretty, we were getting the things we wanted. As far as items or materialistic stuff, we were pretty much getting kind of what we wanted. I got my games, I got my movies, she got the computer, she got whatever she needed.
Camera stuff.
But we weren't going anywhere, we weren't doing anything. It was just getting stuff and sitting in the house.
Right. So, like I said, 2014, it was just like, okay, enough is enough. So me, being a person I am, Google, YouTube, doing all these things. So I started trying to figure out some things to do. And I'm going to talk a little bit about things I found. One of the things we followed in the beginning, we followed it, but I had to tweak it for our family. We followed Dave Ramsey. We did all of that. But once again, we tweaked it to fit us. But we followed it because a lot of we have an autistic son for my shirt. So I didn't want to punish him or the older kids for the mistakes that we made. So it was kind of like we had to agree, what can we do? But in the beginning, it was like, I was just like, we need to do this. I kind of like started writing on the wall, we can do this. Preston still wasn't on board. He was like, I shouldn't have to do none of this. But it was just, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it. We fought.
It wasn't fighting. It was, I think the communication was so broken, and me being a person I am, and I didn't understand it then, the frustration my wife was going through. So when she would come at me with aggression, I'm the type of person, I'm coming back at you with aggression, and then I'm not listening to you.
Right.
So it was really damaging to us, marriage-wise and financially, till we started slowing things down. And we had some turbulent times there. I made some poor decisions that really put us in a bad place emotionally. We had to recover from that on top of the financial issues. But ultimately, the financial issues were the thing that created the majority of the problems and the separation between them.
Right. So if y'all Google it, you'll know if you're a married couple, financial discord is the number one reason why people get divorced. It just is. If you're a single person, you probably was married before, probably got a divorce because of finance. So financial plays a big part in it. So
if I could add to that, if you are a person, that's the difference between Tamika and I. This is her first marriage, this is my second marriage. And I can tell you from experience there, if you're in a situation where you're the one doing a lot of the work and the other person is doing a lot of the spending, and then you finally get away from that person and get into another marriage, or your mindset's probably not. You have to look at it from the standpoint you're with somebody else. And I think even I fell into that. Whereas, okay, I got somebody working with me, so that frees up more of my money, so I can do more what I want to do, and that's once again it's problem creating is what you're doing. So you gotta, if you're in another marriage and you've been where I am, where you had a person we weren't really working together financially, and I was taking the brunt of everything. You may want to take a step back and assess your mindset as far as finances and sit down with your spouse and try to get an understanding.
Right. So we're going to dive in really quick. So I found Dave Ramsey. So I started listening to the podcast. I started just, going through some of the things he said to go through. So let me back up for a second. The reason why I talked to Preston and we decided together to do this is because it's easy to go on YouTube and Google and read, other people's stories or go on YouTube. But when you can actually reach out and touch someone like us that actually walked the journey, that's actually debt free. We got our new house, and this is the only debt that we have is our house, which is an asset if we needed to sell it. So, but I just felt like it's just easy. So every time I will post different things or videos, and I'll get messages with people saying, "Oh, can you tell me what y'all did? Can you walk me through it?" So it's kind of like this was easier to sit down and do a video about it versus trying to message everybody individually. So let's start with, we found Dave Ramsey. Well, I found Dave Ramsey at a period in our marriage where we just thought it was just over. It was like, I don't even know why we trying. But that was in September of 2015. We attended FPU. And Preston would come, but he would just sit there and be like, okay, he'll take a little notes, and then he had to leave for work.
And understand, I heard of Dave Ramsey before she did. My thing was with it, I thought it was just another gimmick.
Yes.
So I didn't take it seriously until I went to FPU and kind of saw what it was all about and saw how it worked, that it was something practical and nothing gimmicky like this. There's this lady out there with the short hair. I forget her name.
I don't know.
But a lot of the stuff that she tells people to do financially is just unrealistic for the middle class person. Right. Like she wanted you to save like 50% of your cost of your house. Who the hell can do that? No, with kids and daily responsibilities and other things, it's impossible. It's not a realistic goal sometimes.
Right.
Unless you're just single and you have nothing but yourself to worry about. So I thought Dave Ramsey was a similar thing, but it wasn't. So
we completed FPU. Bam, we went on our way. Well, that's what I thought. We went on our way. And this is why the cards, once again, are all cut up, because one of the things in FPU, you have to cut up all of your credit cards. So we had 33 credit cards. His, mine, the ones we got together. And they all couldn't fit. So it's taped up 33 that I was juggling every single month, paying on it every month. So we did that. I sat down and we talked about it. And I said, this is what we need to do. This is what Dave says to do or whatever. And that was the end of November. We didn't really get on the ball till like January 2016 because we was still not communicating effectively. So then, we started diving in more into church, and we had to just put all these people around us in our corners, like in a boxing ring. He on one side, I'm on the other side. So then we took the test and we figured out that I was the nerd and he was the free spirit. So with that being said, you will have that one person who's stickler on the budget, want to do the bills every month. And then he was, I'm going to 7-Eleven, swipe. I'm going to racetrack, swipe. Oh, I'm going to stop at Taco Bell and get off the swipe. It would just swipe. And every time I would see a swipe, it would mess with my budget. And I was just screaming in the inside. So the two things that I want to give you all tonight that really helped us was we did one account for bills. When I say one account is where all the money goes in there for the bills. And then we had the other account, which both of them are joint accounts that just had spending for the groceries, for gas, for knick-knack things. So we had to physically separate the two. We had to separate the two. So it wouldn't be a situation where like he got his account, you have your account, this account. No, we went down to 2 accounts. So that made it easy because I didn't have to get on my phone and check, okay, well, now the rent got to come out. Okay, the light bill got to come out. So now I got to subtract. Nope. When it was time for bills to be paid, I moved it over to the joint account. To the bills account, and whatever left in the joint account got us to the next 2 weeks. And sometimes it was scary to see, oh, we got $100. We got all these kids in the house. We got to get gas. We got to get food. But we had to push the money over there because these bills are coming out this pay period and stuff. So it took us a while to kind of like get that going. But once we got momentum, it was awesome. And the next video that we do in 2 Sundays, because he works next Sunday, so the following Sunday, then we'll talk about how we broke the budget down. So today we just wanted to say, talk about us and everything. So it took us 3.5 years, and it was $115,000 we paid off. In 3.5 years, $115,000 non-mortgage debt. Because like I said in the video I posted, we didn't own our house. We was renting. It
was cars and
student loans and that's all it was. That's
miscellaneous, just crap.
Furniture bills.
Just
we had 3 car notes at one time.
Yeah.
3 car notes. That was like.
And we look back at that now, like, why did we do that?
Yes.
That was just. I think that was the thing that was kind of the thing that broke us.
Yes. Was
that because it stretched everything to the limit at that point. Because what we should have done.
Because we were trying to live like Texas. Oh, we got the senior in high school. We'll give them a car.
Like Frisco.
See, I wasn't trying not to say that.
I will.
So it was just a lot that we was trying to do. So it's like, okay, we'll give her that truck. Then person got a car a year before that. Then I got my truck a year after. And it was just like, wait, we got 3 car notes at one time for about.
Two of the notes alone were $1,000.
Yes. And it was like, holy crap.
And now we look back at it like we should have got her ass a Civic. $2,000 cash car. And we would have been good to go.
But we learned our Lexus with a Lexus.
Yeah, we went it on and just bought the car outright. So we didn't find ourselves in that predicament because that went on for over 6 months.
Yes.
And that was like the worst.
The worst. That was when we really felt the pinch. And we was paying for daycare still around that time too.
That was $100 a week.
$100 a week. And in the summer it was $180 a week in the summer. So having a special needs kid, you never really get rid of daycare because he wasn't in the right mindset to be home by himself. So that was the crazy part. So it's been a journey. We look back at it and we're like, you know what? It took for us to become a team. And yes, people like, well, I shouldn't have to ask my husband to spend this, and why do I have to budget? And like I said, the next video we'll delve into how I set the budget up. We had budget meetings and he would take off and put on, or we agree to, move amounts around or whatever. But if we wanted this debt freedom, we had to do it. So not having payments, like you have your everyday monthly expenses in your house, but not having no debt payments. I remember that first trip that we took. So let me back up. I'm all over the place. So as you can see, we go to Disney a lot because of me, of course. And a lot of people say, well, Tamika, if y'all don't have credit cards, how you go to Disney? Debit cards. We save up for it. So we would have been out of debt free in 2 years. But like I said previously, we decided to extend the hours because we didn't want to punish the kids for the mistakes that we made. And, if you follow Dave Ramsey to the T, he like beans and rice. You ain't going nowhere. But we agreed this was best for our family. So like I say, we 100% believe by Dave Ramsey, but it has to be a team effort if you're married. But we decided to go on these vacations. And that's why Preston said we got to the point like, I ain't going nowhere. All I do is drive home to New Orleans, and that was it.
The trips that we did go on were, she had a job training class. They paid, her way was paid, and I just had to buy a ticket. What kind of trip is that?
Right.
You're under the limit. You're under the confines of that training. So, take for instance, we went to New York. So she's in class for 8 hours, and I'm roaming around New York City by myself for 8 hours.
So I didn't even get to enjoy it. It's what, a couple of hours every night.
2-3 hours, and then
He went inside the statue. You went inside the statue of Liberty, but you went on. You just went on it.
Yeah.
I was
went to the
like,
United Nations, went to the Statue of Liberty, went to the Intrepid, went to the New York Police Museum.
and I go to New York more than him, but he got to like really. I don't know.
But it sucks when you gotta be like, hey, you take my picture. Because you're not really. I mean, it's cool, but it's not the same.
Right.
It's going on a trip for yourself, where y'all spending time with each other and whatever. That's a trip. That was our trips.
Right.
And you hindsight being 2020, look back at it like, man, that really sucked.
Right. And then, some people say, well, Tamika, I pay my credit cards off every month, and I do this and I do that, so I'm good with money. So also in this time when we was going through this, we both had people close to us that got sick, and their spouses was not worried about logging on, paying that minimum payment or paying that balance off. Their loved one was in the hospital, probably wasn't going to make it. And we sat down and said, with him being in law enforcement, I don't want anything to happen to where my focus is, oh, did we pay the credit card bill this month? Did we pay it off? I got to earn those miles. We didn't want that attachment anymore, any longer. We just didn't want that stress. So we have a bills account where all the money for the bills are over there. So it's no, I got to log in here to make sure that this paid, or I got to use this card to get, we just didn't want that anymore. So, I mean, some people may not need to watch this video, but for the person that's living paycheck to paycheck or just tired of feeling like this, they just want to know where to start. So the first thing I can tell you to start is, if you have these little things, it's time to just cut them up. It's just time to get rid of them. If you have Hulu and Netflix and all that on them, no, put it in a joint, or put it in your checking account. Go ahead and just move it over. Get used to paying it. And if you can't afford it, got to get rid of it. We have been without cable TV for 5 years now. And we basically got streaming not too long ago. Well, we did the streaming, so we tried to do it. And then we went to AT&T, because with AT&T, you get the free Watch TV app, but it's limited channels. So we was like, okay, y'all got to deal with that. I mean, we turned the cable boxes in. We had to pack the lunch. We did so much to get to where we are now. And it was a lot. It was a struggle, but if you do it, it'll pay off. In my eyes, it will pay off. So the first thing, like I said, if you got credit cards, please get rid. I don't care how many. Look, you see that Southwest card? Don't use that bad boy no more. You're not getting me with the miles. No, Southwest, you're not getting me with the miles. When we go,
thousands of dollars for you to get any miles that are worthwhile. Because the one time we tried to use them when I went home for a funeral,
yes,
wasn't enough to even get me back home.
Nope, it was like 18,000 miles for one way. That means for every dollar you spend, you had to spend $18,000 to get. However, even if it's 2 times or whatever, it doesn't matter. You still have to spend your money to get those miles to get your money back. That's all you're basically doing. So, but like I said before, that was one of the things. So if that's you, just cut them up. The other thing that I want to say is, if you have a spouse, y'all really need to sit down, or if you sit down with someone, a family member that y'all trust, and that y'all can have a mediator there where y'all can talk about it. And we have sat down with many couples here in Texas, where we are in Frisco, and we sat down and we told them it's not going to be easy. Well, I don't want to have to ask my wife. So for us, just so you know, if any one of us spend over $50,
it's a phone call.
It's a phone call. $50. We have to call or text.
Because you figure this, if $50 doesn't seem like a lot
yes,
of money,
Ryan, cut it up.
But imagine in one day, if you make 2 $50 purchases, that's over $100.
Right.
So I mean, it puts some brakes on when you're making that decision to spend that money. To say, hey, well, let me call my wife, I'll call my husband and see if they're cool with this.
Right.
So we don't, because you figure this, if I spend 50 and she spent 50, we just spent $100 unbeknownst to each other. We just blew $100 of money.
Right. And that probably wasn't even budgeted for it.
And then turn around, maybe later on, we go out to dinner, we just spend another $60, and then we look at, well, when you spent 50,
Right.
Oh, shit,
so it's not a point that your spouse is trying to keep tabs on you. It's like, if you want to get out of debt, you have to work together. And we came up with that dollar amount, $50. If we go spend over $50, we have to call the other person. And we have weekly meetings, and then every month he'll tell me like, oh, well, this game coming out, this movie coming out. And then I know to put it like in the entertainment fund. So I already know that money is allocated for
that's
that.
a whole nother
Right.
conversation.
Right.
About,
that's what I said. Next week we'll get into the budget, but those things you start needing to think about. And like say, well, they got their money in their account. No, y'all money need to be together. No his and your together. Because the only way you get out of consumer debt, like I said, not house, consumer debt, y'all have to work together. You just have to. We don't eat out for lunch. We cook our lunch either every 2 days or so. If we go out to dinner, it's like, okay, do we really need to go? Did we budget for that? And then sometimes when we go out to dinner, we'll split a plate. We need to get back. I'm getting a little chunky. But when we was going through the whole debt freedom thing where people would invite us to go out to dinner, we'll split a plate. We wouldn't get an appetizer. We always got water. We didn't get drinks. We'll drink when we get home anyway, because we don't drink and go get behind the wheel.
You figure most of the time if you're eating at a restaurant, the servings on a plate for like 2 people anyway.
Right.
You start breaking it down.
Right. So that was just some of the things that, we had to do. So today is March 1st. So I guess the way I'm looking at it is if it's March 1st and you want to say, okay, I want to change. What can I do? Like I said, the first thing, cut the credit cards up. Second thing is sit down and talk to your spouse. Both of y'all need to get on the same page.
I think the biggest thing that needs to be done, y'all need to sit down and figure out who's better at what. Because, I know guys, you probably, I'm the man in the house and I want to do the bills, but guess what? You may not be the best person to do the bills. So if you're that guy and you know your wife's better at it, you need to give those reins to her. You're not relinquishing anything. I mean, it's y'all money anyway, so you might as well put it in the hands of somebody that's going to be able to do it more effectively than you can. Like, I mean, I can do the bills. That's easy, but I can't sit up there and finagle numbers and stuff the way my wife does to make some of this stuff work. So that's a talent.
Oh, let me cut you off. I remember when I told him our biggest snowball one month was like $3,100, and he was like, wait, how much? I said, yeah, when I sent Nissan that $3,000 payment one month, they started sending us letters. Do you need a new car? Do you need, you can trade your car in and do, and it's crazy. We was getting so many offers in the mail. It was crazy. And then also what I want to say is don't worry about a credit score. We don't worry about a credit score at all. We don't even look at it.
Unless you're trying to get a house.
Unless you're trying to get a house. That's when we was starting to focus. It was so funny. So I know I'm jumping ahead. When we was doing the whole thing with the house, they was like, y'all credit is dormant. We don't use credit cards. It was like, well, you need to figure out something. We need y'all points to go up. And we was like, why? And it was like, well, you need to do this. So once again, here's all the credit cards. We didn't have none. We like what you want us to do. We don't use them, but it all worked out in the end. So we're good. We're in our home. So just to recap, 2 accounts, one for bills, for just bills, and 1 account for joint to do all other shopping. You have to sit down and you have to make a budget. But the other thing I was going to say is get your bank statements for like the last 2 months. And then y'all get highlighters. You highlight, say, if you're married, the wife is in pink, the husband in blue. Highlight y'all charges to see where y'all spending. Get the credit card statements out too. See where you're spending your money at. See why you had to do that. And then the other thing is get another one out. It's called it green for eating out. Highlight all of those in green. Everywhere somebody ate out, I did it. It took me like almost a month.
At 7-Eleven, Racetrack, Burger King, McDonald's, Applebee's.
Everywhere.
Wherever you buy food. If you know that was a food purchase,
yes,
you need to figure that out.
So then I remember one month we had, what we totaled, 800? Was it 800?
About 600.
About 600 eating out. Not going to the grocery store. It was literally eating out because I was too tired or he was too tired to cook. We'd like, let's just go get it. We'll just go get it. Or we'll go eat here. No. It's like what we could have done with that $800 and stuff. So you just have to go through those steps. And so then after you do all of that, then your next homework assignment is the following. If you're ready, let's get some homework done. So you go get a sheet of paper. You go write down all of your household bills, the water, the gas, the electric, the trash, those things on one sheet. Then on the next sheet, you go write down all your consumer debts, all your credit cards, the minimum payment, the balance you have on them, just all of them, the student loans, not the house. Can't get the house out of this equation. Just all the consumer debt, how much you owe on your cars, how much, like I said before, how much you owe on your student loans. And then the next sheet of paper, or you can go front and back. I had sheets of paper for everything. Then you go put Hulu, Netflix, what other subscription services? Any subscription, the gym, memberships, all of those. So daycare will go on the sheet with the household bills, whatever you need, for the house. Just to run the house, that type of thing. And then you have all of your consumer debt on one sheet. And then on the last sheet, it's everything else. Netflix, Hulu, internet, cable. Because you're going to realize when you really start sitting, you're going to have to start Xing some of that stuff out. You'd be like, oh, well, Tamika, that's only $6 a month.
I mean, for a while, we only had
Netflix.
We had Netflix, and then we went to DirecTV Now because it was just cheaper for us.
At first.
So we kept it at that.
Right, and that was streaming, so we only was limited channels on that.
So everything was limited, and then, we've kind of moved on, of course.
Right.
But
we had to change our internet. We changed everything.
Your entertainment stuff. I mean, you need something to keep you going while you go through this process, of course. Right,
and then the other thing you have to figure out too is you're gonna have to say no. Like, especially for some of my New Orleans friends, I know y'all want to go to the daiquiri shop, y'all got to go get your crawfish, you got to do whatever, but you're going to have to say no because that start adding up. It just start adding up. And so it was sometimes where we just stayed in the house and we just looked at the four walls or just found something on TV to do. We had to tell ourselves, I gave up my lashes for a little while. I don't get my nails done. So you ladies who like to get your nails done, if you can't put it in your budget where it won't, I'm not going to say where it won't hurt. You just got to give it up. You just got to give it up.
Just for a little while.
Just for a little while. Just for a little while. Preston went to the barber, once a month? He was going every 2 weeks, and then he was going once a month because for him, his appearance is part of his uniform. I had to give up buying wigs for a little while. I had to wear my own hair out. So I had to give up a lot, but it paid off in the end. 3 years later, $115,000 later, it paid off. It really did. So you just have to.
And with the stuff y'all got to do, keep in mind the nerds out there. You may be doing this by yourself for a second, getting this all organized to present it to the free spirit. So don't get discouraged if your significant other doesn't immediately get involved because they maybe have to see where things are going and start understanding. When you got all this stuff to present to them, then it's that aha moment like, oh, well, maybe I do need to start doing some more. Maybe need to stop some of the stuff I'm doing.
And if you're a single person, if you close, you local, you want to talk to me, you need somebody in your corner to help you do whatever, then do that. And call me. Message me, reach out. Preston is here. We will try our best to get to everyone, but never feel like you're alone. In the beginning, yes, it will feel like you are alone. And like I said, it was difficult, but we worked through it. And now when we go to Disney, it's like years. I mean, it's when you go on vacation and don't come home to a bill, you're not coming home to a credit card bill. You're not. It's like a totally different feeling. Your vacation just feel. So of course, y'all know we just got back off of another Disney cruise, and Preston was like, "Get what you want." Get what you want. I was like, whatever I want. I actually bought a $130 Disney dress. I kind of like, how long did I hold that dress? For about like 20 minutes. We was walking in a circle and I put it down and I pick it back up. I put it down and I pick it back up. And person was like, if you want it, just get it. But I'm just saying, because I had went without for so long, and I would tell myself no, and then I'm like, do you see the price tag on this? Because like I said in the beginning, anything over $50, we would have to ask the other person, hey, what do you feel about it? It wasn't like a checking in. It was like keeping me accountable. And he would ask me, well, do you really need that? And I'd be like, no, I just want it. So that's where the fun money came in. So in our budget, we'll give ourselves fun money. Our fun money was what, $50 a month in the beginning?
Something
like that. Now, even though we out of debt, we still budget for fun money. So we like at $100. So every Sunday when we'll go to Walmart. Oh, that's another thing. When we go to the grocery store, we go together. We don't leave it on one person because this is, and we still do it. We go together. We try to stick.
Shopping.
Yeah, for the major shopping. We stick together. We stick to a budget. I'll go make a plan for the week, kind of figure out what we want to cook and eat, and we stick to that budget. And then when we checking out, I get cash out, and it's so funny because always the Walmart cashier see me give him a 20, and I stick a 20, and they be like, "What? That's your $20 for the week." So if he want to go to Racetrack or 7-Eleven, he doesn't have to use the joint account. He has his fun money in his pocket for him to go with a rain drink, whatever those. He don't drink Monster drinks.
Most of the time I get those from Walmart anyway. So I mean, my money I usually spend it on my son. So
right, but I'm telling y'all, when y'all go through y'all bank statements and credit card statements and see how much you just eating out, I don't feel like cooking. Oh, I forgot to pack a lunch. Or, I mean, it starts adding up. And if you that person where you're like, I don't have time to fix lunch in the morning, well, fix it at night. Or when you cook dinner, cook enough for you to bring it for lunch the next day. You will save so much money on eating out. Oh, but I put it on my credit card and I pay it off. No, stop logging in every Friday to pay your credit card off.
And YouTube has tons of food prep videos.
Yes.
From
Pinterest is ours.
Food prep to just prepping lunch for the week. It doesn't, if you're not that person. So
right. So that's just some of the things that, I know it was kind of like all over the place, but we just wanted to do this first video until we do it again in 2 weeks. 2 Sundays from now is Sunday the 15th. Yes, the 15th. So March the 15th, we'll come back because he's off every other weekend.
You may want to recap. Some people joined.
Some people did. Thanks for sharing. Just broke up with my credit. That's right. Break up with your credit cards. You can live with. Okay. So I get so excited about this because I don't even know how to explain why I get so excited about it. It's because you can just see the prize at the end. And we'll talk about snowballing and paying it off on the next one. This one is just like getting your mind ready. What can I do on the first of the month to get ready? What can I do? Once again, if you can, depending on your bank, y'all have your main joint account, then y'all have another joint account. And that's just for the bills. Oh, and another thing I forgot to add, we created an email that's just for the bills. The only thing go to that, and we both have access to it. The only thing go to that email account is the bills. All the logins for everything was just that one email address. Everything went there. I could not get
bills and job stuff.
Yeah, bills and job stuff. But I didn't want to get my, I don't even know where I shop at. I don't really shop no more. Who I was getting, like Bath and Body Works. I don't want my Bath and Body Works to go to the same email that my bills go to. So no, I didn't want that. So we created an email account just for bills. Then all of the usernames and logins went to the same email account, and we did that. So I mean, it took me almost 2 months to kind of revamp everything. But once again, you have the two checking accounts. One where just all the money for the bills and our paychecks went into that bill account, and then we moved what we needed to spend, for food and gas and all that other stuff in the other account. So if that account only had $200 in it, then that's all it had was $200 in it. But we knew our bills were covered and stuff like that. And what was the other thing I said I wanted to recap? Write the homework. Don't forget your homework. Write down all of your debts on one sheet, all your household bills on another sheet, and all the miscellaneous stuff on another sheet. Because that miscellaneous sheet is going to go down to the bottom of the pile. You just going to have to start doing without. Like I said, we went without for almost 3 years, and it's so worth it. So worth it. So I think I did everything that I wanted to talk about. Hold on. Let me look at my note sheet. I had to take notes and do this. So I say I'm the nerd. He's the free spirit. I talked about the weekly meetings with the spouse. Even if the spouse don't want to talk about it, just make him or her sit there. And it's like, well, you want this and you want that. Well, we have to talk about it. Oh, I want to mention one thing about vehicles. If you sit down and think about the time when you get home and you park that car to the next time you wake up in the morning and you drive it, to the time you get to work and you park it, to when you leave it and drive it back home, you're going to realize you spending over $30,000 for something that just sit. It just sits. Sits. It look pretty. It smell good. It sits, but it goes down in value. We have no car notes. None. And we're not getting another one until I get my Tesla in about 5 years. Damn it. I'm still working on him with that, y'all. I'm still working on that. Anyway, I'm just saying your mindset will change so drastically. You're going to be like, I don't need to go to Ross. I don't need to go to Marshall's. And that was my thing. We would go on like date night, go walk around Ross just because and come out with stuff for no reason, just to go. So now we don't even do that. We still go to Walmart, but we get stuff that we need for groceries, or let's go ahead and get the groceries out. Preston looks a little happy.
Sick.
So, oh yeah, he is sick. He's trying not to get cold. I like the separate accounts idea, one for the bills, one for and for the other people joining in. Like I said, it's not for your spouse to keep tabs on you or whatever. It's just so y'all can hold each other accountable. I'm seeing if anybody had questions. I don't think I saw questions pop up. And did our thanks for sharing.
No,
love you guys. Oh, I miss you, Jen. I didn't get to see you at church today. Great info. Thanks, George. Hey, cousin. Hey, Alvin. So we'll hang on. Congrats on the promotion. Yes! Even though he got promoted, what do we decide to do?
Just act like it's not
there. Act like it's not even there. So when I see that, I just move it over. So another thing is, why I'm talking about that, we have a vacation account. So when y'all see us go to Disney, we put money in that vacation account. And when it gets to a certain dollar amount, I will put like the deposit or whatever, or start paying it on. If we can't pay cash for that vacation, we ain't going. We just don't go. And people are like, well, y'all go to Disney all the time. Yep, cold cash.
And those y'all is on here that's police officers, and y'all see me at off duties, that's where all that money goes.
Yes.
It goes into the vacation account.
So the only time you see him working is when I want to go to Disney.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing too. If you have an opportunity to make overtime at your job and stuff, do it. You're gonna have to do it, but you can't say, oh, I can go buy this. Oh, this new pair of shoes coming out. Nope. It has to go to the debt. And like I say, on the 15th, we'll go through the debt. We'll talk about which one to start with, how to do this, and where to start. You know, you may think, oh, I'm covered, I'm good, I got this. Just go take a look at it and see what changes can you make. Go look at those base statements and say, damn, I could have took all this money and did this. You know, so it's a work in progress. And once again, for the people that just came in, this was our credit cards that we GameStop. Look at that, Preston. We just walk in GameStop with cold cash now. We don't even worry about it no more. 3 years, $115,000 we paid off. We was paying like about $3,000 a month, paying stuff off, paying it off.
Start going through those bank statements and everything, you're gonna start to realize how much money you should have at the end of the month, and then because we find ourselves in that situation multiple times where we look over everything after laying it all out. I'm like, oh shit, we should have like $2,500 left. Where did it go?
Right. Oh, I remember that 1 month. Yeah, 1 month we was like,
it was like, where the hell?
Where did it go? Where did it go?
You know,
and then
not $25.
$2,500. Yeah, $2,500. We could not figure out where
and
it
all
went.
All the bills were paid, but that meant we spent it on just straight up, and I'm saying how it is, bullshit.
Yes.
It got pissed to the wind, and it's like, how do we do that?
Right. So, and another thing that we did, and we used Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar app. I am a strong, strict believer of that app like nobody's business. I mean, I go to it, I use it, and Preston is not a logger, so I have a box, or either he'll just put it on my desk, all the receipts for stuff that he spent or that he used, but I can always go on a joint account and see it, and I'll call him, I say, so what you got at 7-Eleven? And he was like, oh, I ran out of drinks, so I had to get drinks. So I have a little budget, and like I said, we'll go through that next time, but I live by that app. I do pencil and paper still. I do an Excel spreadsheet. And I do the EveryDollar app. I got 3. I am like the true nerd. So my Excel spreadsheet is basically so I can see how all the household bills are running, like the electric bill. If we was at our old house that we were at for over 8 years, I knew 8 years worth of data, how to electricity. So I knew how to budget over the summer because I knew how the last 7 summers went. So I knew how much I had it down to like a science. When I say a nerd, I am that nerd. So it's just, everybody have their different things that they like to do, but we did it together. And sometimes I'll be like, hey, we need to talk about the bills. And he'd be like, anything changed? I'm like, nope. He's like, okay. That was our talk because nothing really changed, you know. So how long we been on here? We've been on here almost an hour. So I'll hang out a little bit and just read. But if anybody have any questions right now, and I know I said a whole lot of stuff just to talk about in the beginning, or if you want to message me the questions, you can do that, and I'll make a list of them. And then next Sunday we get on March the 15th, that I'll have those talked about. But next March the 15th, have your homework done, you know, that we talked about. And then you can ask more questions. And just to add really quick, most of you may know we help the coordinators at our church teach FPU. That's how much we love this program. We actually help, and we are financial mentors at our church. And that's just not nothing that we take lightly. Before that, we were marriage mentors and stuff. And that still amazes us to this day, because I mean, it was just, hey, I need y'all just to hang out at the table. We won't be there tonight. And then it just took off. And at that time, when we asked to hang out at the table, we were still getting through ours. Whatever. He said beefing. We were still getting through our stuff, but then we realized that's just what we needed to bring us together. So it's almost like our marriage is new, I guess you can say. It's like we knew. We remarried. We still in the honeymoon phase? No, this is our phase.
We ain't been on another honeymoon yet.
I know. When you taking me back to Hawaii?
You took me to Hawaii.
Yes, I did take him to Hawaii. I surprised him. He didn't know where we was going. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I need a one. You got it. Whenever you ready, you let me know. We can sit down, do your homework. Don't forget bills, debt, everything else on another sheet of paper. Huh?
We were talking about tonight.
Well, if she can text me. Riska, text me. You know where to find me. So we'll hang out. If anybody you got any questions? Any questions? Nobody don't have any questions? No questions on them? Okay. So we'll hang out for about five more minutes talking about money, getting out of debt, saying no. Sorry. You have to say no. You can't do it if it don't fit in the budget. I know. It's going to hurt for a little while. Just a little bit. Oh, you got a game to go get, all right? This month? Didn't something come out this month? Nothing. Okay. Nobody. So we have, people starting to dwindle off now. Okay. So since people starting to dwindle off, y'all know if y'all need to replay that long video with me just babbling, because y'all know I can talk, just redo it. And then I'll keep putting reminders every couple of days, Sunday, March 15th, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock should work. Yeah. 8 o'clock should work. And then we'll be talking about budget. How to budget, what to take off the budget. I mean budget all the way down to toilet paper. Budget. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Bye. And